Hey everybody, welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is our Monument deck. This hand is pretty sketch, to be honest. The double Sky Hussar almost makes it a mulligan in itself, but the rest of these cards are good, so I'm going to be greedy and keep it, and because Serum Visions, obviously, we're on the play, so we can, if we find a land, two lands, really, I mean, the hand is good, and the Sky Hussars can be used to forecast stuff, if nothing else, right? So I'm willing to give it a shot. It's calculated risk here. It looks like it's going to pay off just fine. As a matter of fact, hmm. Okay. All right, that's fine. So we have our second land. The issue is whether or not we want the monument. Our opponent here is on Riftbolt because we're playing against Burn. So in that case, I'm not going to mess around with monument. I'm just going to play Squadron Hawk. If our opponent was some other sort of deck, wow, that was weird. Okay, if our opponent was playing some different deck, I might actually consider in that spot just playing the Judge's Familiar and not cracking my fetch, and then on my next turn, double cracking fetches, getting the monument. But given how that played out there, against Burn, I don't think we want to do that. I think we just want to put as much power into play as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I don't think our deck kills super fast, nor do we have much sideboard for Burn. We want to sort of grind out mid-range decks more than we want to mess around with this business. But it sort of is what it is. So we'll go ahead and play the other Squad Hawk here. Go get the last one in the deck. Play the Judge's Familiar, which is also pretty decent against Burn. An attack for all of 1 damage. Alright, so I think sort of the path to winning this is that Spell Queller will force him to send one of these spells at it, or it will counter one of his spells, and we'll just get as much damage in as possible. Also relevant, obviously our opponent didn't have a second land. Alright, so I'm going to counter the Lava Spike here with the Judge's Familiar. Preserve our life total at all costs. Okay, and I think here we go ahead and play both Squadron Hawks. All 4 Squadron Hawks. Our deck is nothing but standard. Even cards that aren't in current standard, which is not very many of them, are still cards you mostly saw in standard. Okay, so on our next turn, I'm going to go ahead and set a stop on our upkeep. We can actually Sky Hussar to draw 2 cards, play it, untap our creatures, and get in for damage. And that's definitely what we're going to do with that Eidolon in play. Okay, so a couple interesting things going on here. And maybe not that much interesting. Yeah, I think the plan is just to play Sky Hussars and get in like this each turn. Because that Eidolon is pretty good against us, obviously. But we are pressuring his life total enough that the Eidolon triggers could backfire even. And he can't even attack, so... do we want to draw a card here, or do we want to attack with everything and then untap our stuff? We get in, we put him to... I mean, we're attacking for 8, which makes him pretty dead regardless here. Yeah, I don't think that I do it. As a matter of fact, I don't even know that I play the Sky Hussar. At this point, we can actually Spell Queller for value. In fact, we certainly can, because the Eidolon triggers will just kill him. Because we get him for 8. Unless, of course, he tries to kill our Sky Hussar. That might change what we do. But we'll see. Yeah, he takes 8, so he's just dead because he can't kill us. Okay, that worked out. Not exactly how I drew it up, but I'll take it. So yeah, now he goes to cast a Boros Charm or whatever, but it doesn't matter. He knows he can't. He had to kill his own Eidolon, and we're going to Spellcaller it. Gladly go down to 9. Because we get to take the Boros Charm. We go to 9, but he goes down to 1, and he can't actually do anything now. Because the spell to get back his Boros Charm would kill him. Alright, I'm going to not block. I'll take the damage. I'll go to 7. I'll let you kill yourself. Alright, so unfortunately we don't really have anything against him in game 2. We got there in game 1, which is nice. I guess, well, Thalias are obviously good here. I mean, Purge is kind of not that, it's like fine. The Dustodons aren't going to do anything. I guess we have some bad cards here, right? So the Runed Halos really isn't even a match where we want Monuments, to be honest. Don't really want Sky Hussars either, though. Okay, is any of this good against him? I guess Gideon turns into a creature. And avoids Eidolon. I mean, Gideons are probably better than Sky Hussars. And Monument is just probably not... I mean, Monument's kind of fine in theory if we play it on turn 3 and then go off on turn 4, so... We just don't want any Sky Hussars. It really didn't... I mean, it was kind of... I mean, it was solid in that game, but that game was probably not what we can expect, to be honest. Reflector Mage is like... Walls are actually fine, but... White main line's probably worse than Wall, even. I mean, it attacks, but... Alright, we'll give this a shot. No dedicated life gain. This is a deck that seems like... And I just took the 75 from the Magic Online deck list. Yeah, we're going to get them all again this one. But this is the kind of hand I think really good... The deck that could benefit from Oketcher's Last Mercy. The 3-mana sorcery from Hour of Devastation. Oh, we get a mulligan some more. Guess we need to keep this one. Kind of have to bottom that. But Oketcher's Last Mercy would be great against Burn here. And he's got the Goblin Guide. It's not going to be... Okay, we drew a land, so that's a good start. And I guess we can play the Wall of Omens on turn 2. But, yeah, this is okay, I guess. This is probably about as good as we can hope on a mull to 5. Yeah, it didn't even mulligan anymore. We're back up to 7. Look at that. Goblin Guide OP. Not going to block it because we do have to pressure his life, and it may catch a spell later. But taking 4 from Goblin, ooh, that's bad for us. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I wanted to name Goblin Guide with this. I'm going to have to name Eidolon of the Great Rebel with it. Okay, so I mean, that's actually kind of relevant in that it turns it off completely. The problem is we're taking 6 damage from a Goblin Guide, and you very rarely win games in which you take 6 damage from Goblin Guide. It is nice that we're immune to Eidolon the rest of the game, and he isn't, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to just sort of offset the damage he's already gotten in. Yep, that's a bunch of damage. Okay. Alright, well, this isn't great. Draw us another land? White main lion. Okay, don't really want that. Guess maybe we'll just play a bunch of creatures and activate Westphale Abbey and get Ormondal? That would work. He's got 3 cards in hand. Okay. Well, this is all very bad for us. I could play the Wall of Omens. But I don't think that does anything. think that to play the Spell Queller, probably in combat, to try to eat one of his creatures. What is this? Interesting. On our turn, he's going to Skullcrack. That's odd. What does that mean? I mean, it's just he wants to do damage. He wants to make a sacrifice of Judge's Familiar if that's what we're going to do. I guess I'm fine with sacrificing Judge's Familiar. I'd rather sacrifice Judge's Familiar to it than Spell Queller it. I mean, yeah, we get to trade our Judge's Familiar for 3 damage. That's above expectations. And in fact, he took 2, so it's even better than it looks. Yeah, I still think the plan is just to play Spell Queller. Goblin Guide reveals another Judge's Familiar. Dang it, the wall into Judge's Familiar play would have worked. Alright, I guess we just have to Spell Queller. He's going to kill the Spell Queller here, but kind of is what it is. This Ruined Halo has been good, though. I don't know if any of this is going to be good enough, but it's been good. Maybe he'll just draw. Maybe he has 3 Eidolon of the Great Revels in hand. Okay, that would appear to not be the case. It's a Lightning Helix. Alright. Well, that's pretty rough for us. Good news is we don't have to take any damage from creatures next turn. Bad news is we're taking 4 now. So maybe he'll draw all. Just draw all Eidolon of the Great Revels. That would be great. Another Spell Queller. Okay. Okay, so the plan actually is to pass the turn. Well, maybe this isn't such a great plan. I wanted to block and then flash in White Mane Lion and then block, but that kind of doesn't work either, does it? But maybe he won't block because of the wall. We'll see. He'll Searing Blaze it. Does Searing Blaze still kill us? Yeah, it targets the player, so we're taking 3 from it no matter what we do. Sure. Okay. Down to 4. Not dead, though. Well, I guess we could be dead. Oh, Ketra's Monument. Alright. He's got 1 card in hand. If that 1 card is a blank, we have hope. Because we had to pick up our wall here, trade with the Goblin Guide, take 2, not be dead, and then have Spell Queller. And he is at 11. But of course, if his last card is Lightning Bolt, or any burn spell, right, we're dead. We were just a little too slow here. Let's see if he shows us the bolt. Okay. It's just whether or not he has it. Had it. Slow rolled us though, so that was nice of him. Okay. Game 3. I actually liked what the Ruined Halos did there. I guess so. Celestial Purge just feels so reactive against our red deck where most of the creatures... whatever we target with this, we're going to take damage off of doing it. I'd rather just be proactive. So I'm not going to bring it in. Because, like, if it's it's either a haste creature, and then we're hoping to purge it for nothing. The only possible way we get advantage if it's a late Goblin Guide. If it's an Eidolon, we just take damage. Then his Eidolon deals 2 damage to us and takes 2 of our mana, which is not really great for us. So hopefully just being on the play here will help. That game was, this is good. That game was like kind of moderately close. If his last card wasn't a burn spell, we were going to untap with Spell Queller for his next burn spell, which means he was 2 burn spells from killing us. So that's kind of a thing. But that didn't quite have it. Okay, well, at least we get to see what Goblin Guide's going to draw us here, make up our mind before we fetch. It is a Wall of Omens, huh? Wall of Omens is tempting if we want to play a slower game. I don't think that we do. Well, the problem is, if we play Thalia, he's just going to pay 2 mana to bolt our Thalia, and then we take 2 damage from the Goblin Guide. I don't really want to ruin Halo Goblin Guide. We could also play Squad Hawk next turn, and then fetch, or Squad Hawk and just chomp. I kind of just like drawing the wall, though, because then the wall may eat up 3 damage from a burn spell, or it blanks the Goblin Guide anyway. So I think that it's, and given that we have to take 2 regardless, I think we just want to draw it. And we do have the basic island to fetch out, so we don't have to deal ourselves damage, any more than the 1 fetch damage. So we'll see here. Ruined Halo, hopefully, we'll be able to get Eidolon again. He might be too fast for us. We'll see. We have some decent interaction here, though. We are, however, stopped in our upkeep. Okay, there's our wall. Let's go get the island here, so that we can, of course, still play our Reflector Mage when we need to. Ooh, another. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. So this could be, this is high. I don't say it's high risk, high reward. It's just sort of neutral, but if he Reflector Mage, okay. The goal here is it either blocks the 2 from this forever, or it just gets lightning bolted. Right, that's fine. In which case it gained us 3 life. And now we can Reflector Mage back the Monastery Swift Sphere, which is pretty good against him. And he can't really attack with Goblin Guide. We're still at 15 life. That's the key thing here. Of course, if he kills our Reflector Mage, whatever, which he will. So that's fine. He's using burn spells to kill our creatures and only getting it for 2 every turn instead of 3. And that's kind of the key. Alright, let's see our visions. Hopefully hit a land. We did not hit a land, huh? Okay. I'll put Spellqueller on top. That's fine. So he can cast Swiss Sphere again. So I can Ruined Halo Goblin Guide, or I can play Thalia. Sort of offer it up. I think that's bad. I think we just can't take any more damage from Goblin Guide here. Because if I play Thalia, he pays 2 mana. He plays Swiss Sphere, then pay 2 mana to bolt it. It's still pretty bad for us. This hasn't worked out exactly how I wanted. There's just no life gain in our deck. It's just so rough when you don't have any incremental life gain. Is now we're taking, we're probably taking like 5 damage this turn. We're going to get Swift Sphered and bolted. Oh gosh, we're just getting bolted now. I think we might just be dead. I can Reflector Mage the Swiss Spear again. See, probably he has 20 life. We're just so dead. We could even take 6 this turn. Yeah, he just has everything he wants over there. Okay, well, you know what? 4 is not 3, so at least that's something. Alright, we'll Reflector Mage this thing. Yeah, it's just, we don't have much of a clock against him. Alright, let's see if we're dead. Lava Spike. Opponent said GG, so I guess he just had the nuts. Yeah, okay, we were actually just 0% to ever win. Okay, well, that's burn for you. Good match.